The Tetra String Quartet is dedicated to infusing music and public service together. We believe that access to the arts is an essential human right, and it is our responsibility to put music into all parts of our community, including populations that are often underserved by musicians.
Tetra started off as an idea in 2009. My good friend Chrystal, who's our now first violinist, would call me often when I was off in graduate school on the East Coast, and she called me one day really excited after reading this book called The Well-Tempered Mind, where it was about this woodwind quintet that would go into schools and work with the kids in an interdisciplinary way, and they found that over time the test scores of these kids went up. And so this kind of initiated a spark in Chrystal's brain, and she was like, I would love to do something like this.
And so I started imagining, what would it be like if I had a quartet and we could choose projects that were relevant to us and stay in our community and grow our roots and sort of be like a family.
We saw a need in this community, or an opportunity to use music for good. We are connecting with people. They're sharing what they think, and it just goes back and forth and creates this really awesome connection.
We were really curious about the idea of bringing music to people where they are. And we started these projects called residencies, and we started at places like retirement homes, and we used music as a tool to not only bring entertainment, but also to really connect with them.
My seniors here, many have dementia, so when they hear some of the older songs, I can see their feet tapping and hands clapping sometimes, and so I think they get a lot out of this music.
Well, I've been impressed every time I've seen them. I think they do extremely well, you know, very talented, and I always appreciate an opportunity to see them. They have something for everybody, yeah, even old people.
Music is intergenerational, and no matter, even when people don't remember things and their inabilities have lessened as they grow older, they still enjoy music, and Tetra brings that to them.
You guys just must have like the best smiles or just the best sparkle, because I remember last time we were here we had
We'll speak to our audience differently if we're speaking to a room of third graders as opposed to a room at a retirement community.
We have this really unique perspective on working as a small group and how that work can translate to really the work that students do in any other area of their learning. We talk a lot about rhythm that really goes along with what they're doing in math class. We focus on vocabulary, you know, language skills, geography.
I love getting mail, especially when it's international. So we're going to look at 3 different postcards in here.
It might be that during an assembly, a concept that has been taught in a class that might have been a little bit hazy is something that a kid finally gets because it is approached in a different way.
It's all about giving them some nugget of information, an anecdote, some sort of task to be involved in while they're listening, and you could hear a pin drop because they're so involved in the listening.
We also run summer camps, and it's been awesome to watch these kids who have come back summer after summer and watch how they've grown, watch how they've decided that this is something that they need to keep in their life.
Although the main premise of the 9 days is to get better at playing their instrument and become stronger in their chamber music skills, that's not really what it's about. It's about being good people. It's about having empathy for the people in their group, the audience members. It's about being creative. It's about understanding music in a different way. And how can they serve? How can they be of use to their community? We want them to see that they have an incredible power there and that they can affect many of the lives that they touch through their music.
It's about teaching them to be strong, creative, passionate humans, and watching them go off into the world and then watching to see what they do to make the world a better place.
I grew up in a poor family. The only reason I played violin is because it was offered at my school and I was able to get scholarships for lessons. I never attended a classical concert before I was involved in playing the violin. It was just something that we couldn't afford. And I think when you have access to those types of things, it opens up a whole new realm of possibility. Classical music has a reputation now of being something that's for wealthier or highly educated audiences, but the way that it started out was just for the people.
We're really excited this season to be launching Play Out, which is our musical service initiative. For many years, we've had lots of programs throughout our community, but we felt that it's time now, since we're a nonprofit, we are tying them all together and really trying to create a movement in the music community in Arizona.
We are very passionate about putting music where it's not, really seeing music as a vehicle for public service. We are very passionate about expanding access.
A few of the projects that I'm really excited about are returning to the juvenile detention centers. We are also going to be starting our third season of Azure Family Concerts, which are dedicated to children on the autism spectrum and their families. We are starting our first full season at the Phoenix VA Hospital. We've been there in the past, but we're finally going to be able to go more often.
We believe strongly that music is about connection, and that's really what people need and want, is to be connected to other people, and when you're connected to other people, you feel that support. So when we go into, say, a detention center, we'll not only play for them, but we want to get to know them and have a discussion. When that child asks, why did you come here? Why did you come to play for us? And we said, because you're a part of our community. And this is what we do, is bring music to people in our community. And we want to know you, and we want to connect with you.
It was our dream to be Arizona's Quartet in residence. And I think that we're finally figuring out what that means to us. And Arizona is our home, and we are dedicated to making our state better with music.
I love that I get to wake up every morning knowing that by either it's with the students that I'm teaching or in a performance we're giving somewhere in the community, that someone is going to have a really nice experience because of it.
We want anyone who comes to a concert to not just hear the music we're playing, but to meet us and to understand why we're doing what we're doing, what we think about the music we're playing. Especially if we want to grow our audience, it's vital that we are engaging and having relationships with these people, because without them, we would be playing to an empty room. We wouldn't have a job.
We would like to stay here, and we would like to expand, and we would like to collaborate and communicate and educate and have just a really good time with a lot of people doing a lot of good. And that's what we really hope to be able to do.